Hey, Awesomes. Welcome to week 4. My sincerest apologies for the tardiness here. I don't know what it is about inclement weather or snow in particular that my internet just kind of goes haywire. So it was awful late last night before things kind of began to get back to normal and resetting the modem 4,000 times. So anyway, here I am with you now. I know it's Wednesday in the middle of the week. I hope that gave you a little bit of time maybe to get started reading Backpacks versus Briefcases. It's a good foundational read. It also helps us think about the rhetorical situation. In particular, talks about what context means, and then we break that up, or as Carol does in that particular article, breaks down what context means to help us understand it, because we need to address the rhetorical situation of the article that we've chosen to analyze rhetorically for our first paper. So we're getting closer to kind of defining those steps and going through those particular sections of our first project. So last week, recall, we learned a little bit more about ethos, pathos, and logos, of course, in the backpacks versus briefcases. You'll notice that Carol also talks about ethos, pathos, and logos. So we're going to be clarifying all those terms and kind of putting all those things together this week as we kind of understand here this rhetorical situation, right? I've got these slides here for you. We'll go over those this week as well as beginning to analyze. And so I just want to show you pull these up. If you haven't pulled them up already, if you haven't looked at them already, feel free to. These slides go through and kind of tease out some of the main points, and we'll talk about some of those, well, all of those, the ones that I've placed here, at least on the slides this week. I'll do those in a separate video. But as what we're kind of doing now is we kind of slowly turning the corner. We're kind of going to start getting really, really, really specific. So it's important this week also that you have your article chosen, and we'll have a little activity this weekend, which I will place right up here. It'll probably be down here somewhere. It'll be just your basic discussion post, where I just want you to post your article. Give me an opportunity, just kind of, we'll just make sure you've got an article that has everything in there that you need, right? And that's all. So we want to make sure that you've helped stay on top of things. You should have an article hopefully by now. If you don't, make sure you've got one by this weekend. Next week, we're going to start looking at types of arguments, the types of logical fallacies very specifically. And then we'll also start talking about how do we find ethos in an article? How do we find pathos in an article? How do we find the logos in an article that we can then start to then put our paper together? Okay. So that's what we're heading towards this week. So if you haven't read Backpacks versus Briefcases, it's not too long of a read. It's a pretty easy read, pretty smooth. It's not full of academies and stuff like that, so which is why I like it. And then feel free to peruse over those slides, and I'll be back with you to talk to you a little bit more about those slides in particular. And like I said, we'll tease out some of that information regarding backpacks versus briefcases. And then I'll also have, like I said, I'll have that activity posted right here on our week 4 page for you to post a link or whatever. I'm assuming most of you probably will have some sort of a link or something like that to the article that you're going to rhetorically analyze. And then we'll go from there. And then we'll start really, like I said, piecing it together towards the end of this week, over the weekend, into the next week. Then my instructional videos then will be specific, like here is how we can find these things. We'll look at, especially when we start looking at the PowerPoints. PowerPoints start to give us very specific questions to ask. And we'll also think about what are those same kind of questions we ask when we think about ethos, when we think about pathos, when we think about logos. So we'll go over that in a little bit more detail forthcoming. So I hope you guys are having a great week. Again, thank you for your patience and understanding this week. And we'll be back, and I'll talk to you again soon. Stay safe, stay awesome. Bye now.